Is this the beginning of the end for DeSantis? Again, Rachel Lindsay, media personality, attorney, author, former star of The Bachelorette, and Rick Sanchez, former MSNBC and CNN anchor, and Diane Canada, a former Republican nominee for Tennessee State House. Diana, what do you make of this?
Okay, very poor taste, to say the least. I think that highlighting skill sets that could have been developed in involuntary servitude.
Right.
Really bad.
So why is he picking this,
Really
from a
bad.
political perspective, why is he picking this fight? I mean, continuing the fight with Byron Donalds now, it's like, just stop.
And Donalds gave him some grace.
I mean, basically said, I agree with everything.
Yeah, but doubling down on that is not going to be, I don't think, wise for his already appearing struggling campaign.
Well, is that it? Rachel, you think it's the beginning? Is this a sign?
I hope so. I really hope so. I think the thing with DeSantis is when I watch him, he seems to be feeling himself just a little too much because of what he did in Florida and the way he was able to win that governor's race. I think he's starting to push the lines farther and farther and farther apart, away. And really starting to make decisions that I think are even impacting Republicans. I think they're afraid of what he's going to do should he get that nomination.
Well, I just don't understand what the strategy was in going to the right of Donald Trump, right? Well, before he announced, I think the sentiment was he's going to be the much better candidate for the general election, right? He's going to be the more palatable Donald Trump, same policies, but he's the guy who could actually win the general election. And instead, he just continues to try to position himself to the right of Trump as if the MAGA folks are going to say, oh, you know what? I'm done with Trump. He's too liberal.
Maybe it's really who he is. Look, we're living I keep coming back to this, or we all do, but we're living in a time of silos. There are people who, unlike maybe the four of us, have never heard people say something different than what they believe because they're in a bubble. And this gentleman, my governor, lives in a bubble. All he can think about from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep is the trans community and the woke this and the gay that and the too black this.
But he is very popular in the state of Florida.
Those are popular issues in America. Forget the state of Florida.
But if that's the case, he should be doing great in the campaign.
Exactly.
Well, that's the problem.
Well, but
he has also, even with that and the fact that you could train a chimpanzee to be the governor of Florida because it's an easy place to be the governor. Money just pours into that state every day, and they don't have taxes. Somehow he's managed to go overboard because I don't think he's reading the room correctly.
Because he doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't stand for anything unless it's anti-woke.
Yeah.
And he just says outrageous things. I mean, just the RFK Jr. statement that he made. Like,
you mean that he would appoint him for the CDC?
Exactly.
By the way, I agree with a lot of his positions. I think he's on the money. I just don't think because you disagree with people or anything that you have to beat them up and be mean to them. And that's what it seems like to me.
But Diane, is his campaign floundering?
Well, I don't know. I was just with him at the Statesman's Dinner in Tennessee. We had that about a week or two ago, and I listened to his speech, and it was pretty hard right. There were a lot of people in the room applauding, and I think you're right. I think a lot of people think that he could bring that decorum back to the White House. At least they thought that. He could bring that decorum back to the White House, all that. I mean, he's kind of making some gaffes of his own right now. But there is a hope that maybe he could bring those policies that we all loved, but minus the minus all the
but he's not
angry rhetoric.
But it seems there's zero nuance now. It's like whatever the furthest right position anyone can take, DeSantis is now taking it. So the idea is pick your lane, and his lane is there's still space between Donald Trump and the far right, and that's going to be my space.
Yeah.
And
well, he's got to appeal to that base.
That's for sure.
He's got to appeal to that base. But a lot of the moderate women out there were very attracted to DeSantis and still are. They tell me all the time they still are. So it's just a matter of, I don't know if he can course correct. He keeps doing these things, and it is in such poor taste that I think he's risking losing some of them.
Yeah,
he really is.
Yeah. After a while, you come off mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Particularly when you're going out. I mean, like the way they're going after Byron, you would think like the one black member of the GOP delegation in Florida.
He's on your team.
He's basically agrees with you on everything.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.